You work at your job. You know, Joan, one of the things that impressed me, or first impressed me about you was at an interview. I interviewed you for the first time, I remember. And shortly after that, there was to be a party at which you were the hostess. And you made a point of remembering my husband's name. You had never met him, but as we entered, you greeted us by my married name, which was terribly impressive to me, and it was one indication that you work at it. And I just have the feeling that today, stars aren't willing to work that much outside of the immediate profession, let's say acting itself.
Well, I'm sorry, there is a social life outside of the motion picture industry and TV, which we all do part-time on now, as you know, guest appearances. But the social amenities, I think, are terribly, terribly important. And if you can remember lines, you can remember names and faces. Once in a while, I have a block on a name, but I take great pride in remembering names and where I met the people and what countries, what areas. And in traveling all over the world as I do, I have to be briefed every now and then before I go into a new area.
You travel all over the world on Pepsi-Cola business.
Yes, we're in 97 countries, and I think I've been in about 35 of them. Can't wait to get to the rest of them.
And you fly, too, which you didn't used to do one time.
Oh, I used to think traveling from Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer to 426 North Bristol was the greatest thing in the world, but now I take a plane like I'd call a taxi and head out.
You first learned to fly, as I remember, through your husband, Al Steele.
Yes, I did. We flew to get married, and I've been flying ever since.
You didn't make any pictures during your marriage, did you?
No, I traveled with him.
I'm sure there are times that you think of Al. Joan, do you feel especially lonely when you do think of him?
It's a very lonely life, actually. When you close that door at night and you've been busy all day, it's extremely lonely. But you just keep going and be grateful for the loveliness you've had in life and take it from there and try and create more loveliness for other people the next day.
I should imagine that you're in your position, Joan, that you probably have many, many acquaintances and actually very few friends.
Well, I have many, many friends. I'm very grateful for that, but I take the time to make them. And I take the time to also keep them as friends. Lots of times you meet wonderful people along the way, but you don't bother to write to them or contact them when you're in town or when you're away or when you think of something. When you look at something in a store window, you say, that belongs to so-and-so. And just, it takes a minute to go home and write a note.
I know, and you're a prolific writer because I've received your letters, for which I've been most grateful. Joan, how long a gap was there between the Caretakers and the previous motion picture?
1 week.
Oh, no, there was one before the Caretakers.
The best of everything.
Best
3
of
years.
everything.
3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like going back?
Well, I was delighted to do the Caretakers first. We did 3 weeks filming in 1 week. They started the film before I got there. I was doing a tour for Pepsi-Cola in 7 cities in Italy and 2 in Spain. And so they shot, I think, 10 days to 2 weeks before I arrived, and they condensed all of mine and saved all of it till I got there, and then I finished that one. And that kind of prepared me for my 2 weeks rehearsals and 31 shooting days with Betty Davis.
Speaking of Betty Davis, many reporters tried to create some rivalry between the two of you, didn't they? At least they alluded to that in their newspaper stories. Was there anything to that?
Not at all, Marie. My goodness, we're too professional. We had too much work to do, and it was just wonderful. In the first time in my whole career did we ever have 2 complete weeks of rehearsal. I've been promised it before, but it was very exciting. When we did start filming, we knew exactly what we were going to do. The chemistry between us was so perfect and so amenable, and we excited each other and stimulated each other.
This video is brought to you by The Concluding Chapter of Crawford, a comprehensive research guide to Joan Crawford. www.theconcludingchapterofcrawford.com. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.